Okay, in this video, we're going to actually list an item to get it live on eBay. Now, in the last video, I gave you a little bit of homework to find something around the house that you can sell. So make sure you have an item so you can follow along with this and list this item as we do the video, okay? It doesn't matter, again, the value or anything like that. As long as it's something that's probably going to sell or has some value based on what I showed you in the last video, then you're good, all right? So here's some of the basic things. Now, one thing I want to tell you is don't skip any part of this video at all. You don't really want to skip any part of any of the videos, but this one in particular, if you skip any small part, there could be some vital information that you're going to use for the rest of your eBay career that you don't want to miss out, because I'm going to give you some really, really important pointers in this video and listings. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is make sure you're signed into eBay at ebay.com, and you're going to go over to sell. Okay, we're going to go to create listing. I'm going to do single listing. Okay, and here is the eBay catalog. Now, eBay wants to make sure whatever item you're going to list, that they properly file it in the category that it belongs. eBay has departments for all different types of stuff. And they have people that manage each department separately. So they categorize these certain things in those things because they want to make sure that your item is easily found. So they have a department for home and garden. They have one for electronics. They have one for computers, and it goes on and on and on. There's a whole list of different things that eBay has categories for, okay? But this right here is going to help them categorize your listing and put it in that proper department. Now, if it's an electronics, one of the reasons why I love selling electronics on eBay is that eBay automatically fills in the specifications and a description for you for any electronics that you're going to sell. So, for example, if I type in iPhone 6, look at that, cell phones and smartphones. Now, this is what it's going to look like for all items. However, once I do that, then this pops up. eBay now gives me some recommended things to select from. For example, here it is right here. Let's say I want to sell an iPhone 6 16 gigabyte for Verizon. I'm just going to go ahead and select that. And watch what happens when I do that. This brings me to the eBay listing screen. Okay. Now yours may look a little different than mine, depending if you have like basic or advanced selected, but for the most part, it's all going to be the same. One of the things it does already, it automatically puts the title in, and it's already got some specifications up here. And you can't see it now, but let's see. I have an active listing right here. This is one that I actually have on my store at the moment. It says your items for sale. Okay, see, it puts the title. This is what an active listing looks like. And if we scroll down, there's my photos. And I'll tell you about photos in a little bit. Okay, but look at all this stuff right here. This is all automatically put in by eBay because it's an electronic. Now, if it's not electronics, it will not do that, okay? Without electronics, it's going to look a little bit different. For example, let's go back and let's just, select some kind of designer purse or something like that. Oh, we're going to have to start over. So go to eBay, go to sell. And we'll go to create listing. And let's just put in Gucci purse. There we go. So if I was listing a Gucci purse, I would go to Gucci purse, clothing, shoes, and accessories, women's handbags, handbags, and purses. I would select that category. Now, see, if you notice, it's a lot different than electronics. For example, it's just going to say Gucci purse. You're going to definitely want a better title than that for your listing. Obviously, you want keywords in there. So it doesn't add any photos or anything like that. No specifications. You're going to have to do everything from scratch here. So the electronics is a little bit easier. Okay, so we're just going to list an iPhone right now to make things nice and simple for you. And that's what I specialize in, is phones and electronics. So I'm just going to stick with what I'm good at. And don't get me wrong, we've listed plenty of other items. Matter of fact, you see, I got fidget spinners on there right now on my account at the moment, cashing in on the fidget spinner craze. All right, so iPhone 6. Let's go ahead down to cell phones and smartphones. And we're going to select that iPhone 6 for Verizon. Okay, now if you don't have a phone or electronic, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're just going to want to type your title here because eBay won't fill it in, okay? Now in this situation, eBay already filled it out for you. You want to make sure you have any keywords in there. For example, if your purse or whatever was a black Gucci leather handbag, you want to make sure you type in black Gucci leather handbag. And if there's a certain model to it or something like that, type in that model or that style or whatever it is, or the material that it's made of. All those things are people going to search for when they're looking to buy something on eBay. So you want to make sure you put that in the title up here, okay? In this case, people search for smartphone is a very big keyword. You want to have that up there, and then iPhone 6. Now, these subtitles, I usually leave this out. I don't ever use those, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. I don't put in an SKU, a custom label at all. That's more, I think, if you're going to get into like brand new items, which is beyond the scope of this course. We're not going to do that. Now, condition is an important part. Most of the time, you're going to be selling used. The only time you're going to put new or new other is if whatever product you're selling is sealed in the box and untouched, or maybe it's an open box, but it's brand new, it's never been used. That would be like new other, and if it's sealed, it would just be brand new. But for the most part, you're not really going to sell new items. Most of the stuff you're going to sell is used. Now, a lot of the phones we sell are cracked or damaged. See, if there's a crack or any damage at all, no matter what, even if it works fine, but there's a little bit of damage, you're supposed to list it under for parts are not working with eBay. And believe it or not, still sells great. We've been selling close to 20,000 a month for a long time now, and we do very well with cracked phones and damaged phones and things of that nature, make plenty of money, okay? So don't be scared this is for parts that are not working that people won't buy it. There's people on eBay looking for those things specifically, and they know how eBay works too. So they know the item probably functions. And you're going to put that in the description, which I'll show you in a minute. But let's just say used for now, okay? Now, I don't know whatever item you have, but you're going to put your description, your title up here, used. You can put a little bit of description here if you want. I don't personally, because it saves me time, but if you do, it will have a little description up here when people look up for your listing. If you'd like to have that, you don't need to though. Okay, now the photos. For phones, I just take a picture of the front and back. Phones, you don't need really good pictures because all phones look alike, right? Every iPhone 6 looks like an iPhone 6. In this case, this is an iPhone 5S. They pretty much all look the same. So unless there's some major damage to the phone, then you don't need to take a lot of pictures. The more pictures you take is always the better, but on phones, they all look the same. If there's a dent, a crack, or something, I would add that picture so people can look at it and see how severe it is and then determine if they want to go through with it or not. Okay, so what you're going to do is go ahead and take the pictures, and then you just go to add photos, and you just upload the photos there. Okay, we're going to cancel that out. This stuff right here is sometimes required. I don't fill any of this stuff in. I don't really feel it helps much at all, so I don't bother filling any of this stuff. You're going to get that a lot. Now, some items, they do require that. So, for example, if you're in a purse category, there's always different specifics for all items. For electronics, they already have the specifications in there, so you don't need it. However, for things like designer purses or like clothing and stuff, you're going to want to put the measurements in there, like what size is it, what's the length, what's the height, what's the width. The best way to find out what you should really have is just go find somebody else's listing, right? Like let me type in Gucci handbag and just copy someone that has a lot of feedback and look what they're putting in their listings, and then you'll know how to do a listing better for that, right? If it's, a phone, you could just use my template, obviously, because I'm experienced. But like, these are all new. Let me look for a used one. Like here's a Gucci authentic handbag. Let's see what this one's like. Or here we go. See details. I'll pick this. So see how they took the picture, and then you can look and see how their pictures are too, and what they're taking pictures of to sell it. Okay. Now this one's not a good example because see they only have one feedback, so I really wouldn't copy this one too much. Let's see if we can find a seller that has a few, like a decent amount of feedback. Again, this is a lot of people just casually selling their stuff. So either way, probably would be okay. But the only thing about people with low feedback is sometimes they do the wrong stuff because they're not experienced, and you don't want to be copying someone who's doing the wrong things. Let's just pick this really quick and see if they. Oh, that's another 0 feedback. Well, let's try Coach. Maybe I'll get a little bit better sellers instead of Gucci. Okay, so here's someone that has 1,110 feet. That's good. Okay, so they've probably sold quite a few items or purses and things like that. And if you look at, see how they're taking pictures of the purse? Different angles. Okay, that's something you'll probably want to copy. Now, whatever, I mean, this could apply, depends. I'm saying purses, electronics, whatever item or category you're in, just copy them. I don't like this description too much because it's not really, they're not giving too much information. So I don't know if I'd copy that. Purses, I know from experience, you definitely want to put the specs in there. So you want to put the height, width, depth. People really like to see that. I don't see that there. Okay, but anyways, I'm sure you get the point. Look through a few of them, pick out the things that you like, what you don't like, what you think works, what doesn't, and that will help you decide what to put in your listing or your specifications here. Okay, all right. Then the description. This basically is right here what this person has. See, this is the description, whatever they typed here. Okay, now you can keep it pretty simple. And this one, you could just put, here's a couple things about the description when you're doing an eBay description. You want to always undersell, not oversell. By overselling, you give people an excuse to get mad at you. For example, in the past, when I was brand new, I used to say the phone is in amazing condition or excellent mint condition. And then if they find a tiny, tiny little scratch or something like that, people are really picky. They say, you said this was in excellent condition, but there's a tiny scratch on it. They want a refund or anything. So to avoid a lot of those hassles, I'll usually say something like the phone has light scratches on it. Just even if it usually doesn't, unless it's brand new. If I know it's used, I'll say that just to cover myself because it doesn't really affect the price that much. I'll still get usually close to what I want anyways. But it just covers me with returns and customer service, and I want good feedback. So let's look at my description here. My description says the phone has light to moderate scratches. There you go on the front and back, but works fine. It's does not have tied to an Apple ID as a clean ESN. Phone is strictly an AT&T phone, not be unlocked. My eBay lister put that line in there. I don't really like that line personally, but I do like this. It does not come with the charger. You want to make sure if there's any accessories that typically come with it, that you put that in your listing. We don't sell our phones with chargers ever, just because, I mean, everybody's always got a charger anyways, and it just adds to the shipping weight. So we just get rid of the chargers. But that's it. I have some stuff down here. It's just my policies. You don't need that in the beginning. Once you start selling on eBay, you can just kind of go with that. But honestly, this is all you really need is just a paragraph right here. That's it. And free shipping doesn't hurt to tell them that too. So you can write yourself a little thing like the phone is in good condition, but with a few very light scratches, something like that. Does not come with charger. Now you might be thinking, oh, doesn't this turn people off saying the negatives? Well, yes and no. You don't want to try too hard. People like it more when you have some negatives in your listing because it shows you're honest. Okay, people want to buy from an honest seller, obviously, and a lot of people have fear of buying on eBay because they think that someone's going to lie to them or the item that they get. That's people's biggest fear is ordering an item on eBay. They don't know who they're buying from, if they're going to get ripped off or whatever. So if you're honest in the listing, you're showing that there's some negatives. You're showing that you're a truthful seller and that you're not trying to paint too good of a picture or anything like that. This is what it is. So people will trust you more. So it's okay to be negative, not negative, but to say some things that aren't, selling the item so much. Let's see. And that's it. The key is to put vital information, but be very factual. Don't put any gimmicky words. This is an amazing phone. It's great. Don't put any hype. Hype usually turns people off and it makes you look like an amateur. It's better to be honest and real. Okay? All right, so this is the listing so far. We got our photos there. Okay, now getting to this. Fixed price versus auction style, okay? Now, on eBay, there's two different ways you could sell. Auction or buy it now. Auction means you're going to start off a bid at like 99 cents. And what happens is, let me see if I can find an auction to show you. This one's saying buy now. This looks like a current auction. There we go. Yep. See, so this one people actually bid on, and then the auction, you can see it's going down right here. See the seconds? The auction goes down. Once that runs out, then that time's up, and whoever is the highest bidder wins the item. I don't like this, though, as a seller, and I'll tell you why. Because most buyers don't want to wait till auction's up. They want it right away. And one of the things I learned from one of my eBay mentors, I had a mentor that I promised I would clean his carpets for a week straight for a year if he taught me how to sell on eBay. And he always told me buy it now is the way to go. So from now on, I always do buy it now. And that's how I have been doing for the last 4 years, and it's worked out great. I found buy it now will usually sell almost 20 to 30% more than auction will end up with, all right? Auction may be a good way to buy, though. You can maybe get things cheaper, but most buyers that, really want your items and are good buyers, they just want to buy right away. And you want to set your price at whatever the market is. Now, that could be the tricky part for you, is not knowing what to set your item at. So what we're going to pick is fixed price is equal to buy it now. See buy it now right there? We don't want auction style. We want fixed price. How do we know what our item is going to sell for? Well, you're going to do what's called an appraisal. So you're going to go here, and this is what I showed you before. And we're going to type in iPhone 6, 16 gigabyte for Verizon smartphone, and you're going to see what other items like this are selling for. Okay, now it's very important. You go here to sold listings. You have to go to sold listings. Sold listings, okay? And we're going to make sure we look exactly that, like, see, this is a 6S. We don't want to look at that 6 Plus. It's got to be apples to apples comparison. So here's okay. So here we go. iPhone 6 Verizon Gold 200. Now, the rule of thumb with appraisals is you want to find 3 that are similar. Okay. I teach a lot of this stuff in my more advanced phone flipping course. We really get into it on how to buy phones and flip them and things like that. But just for basic purposes, it looks like this is selling for about 200. So I'm going to list it for a buy it now at $199.95. I like to put that because it always makes it sell better. I'm not going to do best offer. Best offer lets people make offers to you on your item. I don't like that because you get a lot of low ballers. What I like to do is I'll list it for buy it now, and then I'll drop the price, like maybe, if it's a $200 item, I'll drop it $5 to $10 a day until it sells. You want to start your listings immediately, unless, for example, you're going on vacation or something, but you're better off just starting them immediately. And I like to leave my items for 5 days. I found it's worked best for me. Now, you can leave them good till canceled, but there's certain rankings, which is a little bit more advanced stuff again on eBay. And whenever you list a new item, it gets boosted in the rankings. And 5-day listings usually gives me the best boost, and it leaves it up at the top of the rankings so that it sells faster. I like to sell my stuff within a day or two. Some people don't like that. Sometimes they just like to list a bunch of items, leave it up. That's okay too. I like to move my stuff quickly, especially in electronics, because they depreciate quickly. Okay. Then quantity, however many you're looking to sell with that. If you have multiple of the item, that's okay, even if they're used, as long as they're in the same similar condition. You can just change that to 2 or 3. Okay. Don't put this as a private listing. If you want to make a donation, you can. I don't usually do any of this stuff here. Don't worry about the sales tax. There's no sales tax on the internet unless you're in the state. If it sells in the state that you live in, then you got to pay sales tax on it. But if not, you don't have to worry about that. As of the time of this video, they may change the laws on that, but as of right now, that's how it is. Most important is your shipping details right here. You want to let people know how you take payments. Now, I require immediate payment. As an eBay seller, if you don't require immediate payment, sometimes you get non-payers, and you have to open up a case against them and then relist your item, which is kind of a hassle. Sometimes when you're brand new, they don't let you do this yet. So you can just, have a basic payment policy. Let me see if I can edit mine here. See, I put we require immediate payment for all purchase. You can even say, payment is due, by next business day, next 2 days or something in that nature. So that way they do pay you in a timely fashion. You don't want to be waiting around for people to pay you. It's frustrating, and it's a hassle to deal with. Shipping policy, I always do free shipping all the time. Don't do anything but free shipping usually, because free shipping is what's going to entice your buyers to do business with you the most. People love free shipping. They don't have to calculate in their head, well, what's the shipping cost going to be? What is it? Or things of that nature. Do free shipping, and next day shipping is what I do. People love to get their shipping fast. They want fast shipping. So free shipping and fast shipping is what they're looking for. Okay. My return policy, I do, I believe 30 days, but let me see if I'm 30 or 60 now. 30 days. So we do have a return policy of 30 days. So if they buy an item, they have 30 days to return it free of charge. And I think that's the best because, if there's a problem with the item, eBay is going to make you return it anyways. So your best bet is to do a 30-day return policy. Now, you don't need to fill out any of this package stuff or anything like that. Leave that alone. The only thing you do want is standard shipping. Oh, my computer froze up or something like that. I'm not sure what happened. Oh. I can't scroll up on this page anymore. We lost it. Let's load it. There we go. There we go. Okay, now it's reloaded. So skip this shipping stuff. You want to put in the payment policy, the shipping, the return policy. Okay. That's it. Now, very important. I only ship to United States. This is a little bit more advanced stuff. Okay. But if you can, you want to go into your settings and you want to select only to ship to USA. I actually ship to just the main 48 states. I don't ship to Hawaii or Alaska because I've had issues with that in the past. So I only ship to USA. All right. That's it. And that's how you're going to create an eBay listing right there. You're going to put your pictures up there, get your listing, get your description, and then you're going to hit list item. If you want to see it before you list it, you hit this preview listing where you hit list item, and then bam, your item is going to be live, and it's going to look like just one of those other listings that I showed you there. Okay, so that is how you list an item on eBay. All right, now it's time to sell it. So in the next video, I'm going to show you what you do once the item sells, how to ship that out, and I'll give you some ideas on the shipping and packaging for you. All right. See you in the next video.